Hello, hello, I am back, and today, as you can tell by the title of this video, I am doing a crystal collection video. And just a little disclaimer before I start this video, I am not an expert on crystals. I'm just a 17-year-old gal that likes them, likes to have them, likes to use them, likes to look at them. They're just a fun time. So I'm going to be showing you which crystals I have and what I use them for. And I think that with crystals, I mean, there are certain stones that are sort of designated towards a certain thing. Like, you know, you're not going to use rose quartz for banishment if it's sort of the unconditional love stone, you know, stuff like that. But most crystals overall have sort of a more broad variety of uses. And I think that's sort of what invokes that power within them, is you cleansing and consecrating and setting your intentions behind each stone. So I'm going to be telling you what I personally use these stones for. Your usage might differ, and that's okay. We're all different. We all use them for different things. No shame in that. So let's get started. So the first crystals that I'm going to be talking about are my rose quartz, which I got at Romancing the Stone in Eureka Springs. They're just, you know, clear, and they are used to like enhance the power of other crystals within spell work or meditation or whatever you're using them for. So whenever I use my crystals, I always have at least one piece of quartz nearby. And another reason why this clear quartz is so important to me, why I have such a tie to it, is because clear quartz is really popular in Arkansas, which is where I'm from, and you can even go like mining for crystals, which we did that in elementary school as like field trips and stuff like that. I was always really bad at it. I like never found any crystals, but I want to go sometime soon and dig up my own quartz crystals so that I can have even more of a personal connection to my home and where I'm from. The next crystals that I'm going to talk about are my chakra stones, which I also bought at Romancing the Stone in Eureka Springs. So I keep them in this little dish, and there's a different stone for each chakra. And when I bought them, they came with a little velvet pouch as well as this little information card. So this just says the number of the chakra, the color of the stone, where the chakra is located, and what it governs or relates to, which is really helpful, but the only thing that I don't like is they don't tell you what the actual stone is. So some of them, I mean, like, obviously this one is rose quartz, you know, this one is amethyst. So some of them are self-explanatory, but especially as a beginner, these were some of the first crystals that I ever purchased. I would have liked to have known what the stones were so that I could have researched them and sort of figured out a little bit more about them and how else I could use them as opposed to just for meditation and for my chakras. And I don't really use these too much anymore, to be quite honest, but I keep these stones because they do sort of help keep me grounded and centered, and if I ever do want to use them, then I've got them available. Next up, I have my little bottles of peridot, carnelian, and turquoise. I got all of these at Petit Jean State Park. They were actually the very first crystals that I ever bought. And I mean, I was like elementary school aged, so I pretty much just bought them because I thought they were pretty. And I don't really use them for anything specific, but they're attached to these really fond memories. Like, I remember picking up the peridot because green was my favorite color at the time, and then I saw carnelian and I was like, oh, it's this like fiery red color, that's so cool. And then I saw turquoise and I was like, well, I mean, everybody loves turquoise, right? Gotta have it. And it just sort of reminds me of all of the good, fun weekends that I spent camping with my dad and my brother and my best friend. So I keep them more for like a nostalgic, personal memory type of reason. Next up, I have my chrysocolla, which I got at Crystal Waters, which is a little shop in downtown Eureka Springs. And I got this little paper that goes with it, and it sort of says what all the uses are. But looking at it now, I think it's sort of, I don't want to say served its purpose, but I definitely have improved in all of these things that it's supposed to help you improve in. So, I mean, I don't want to get rid of it, but I do maybe want to start like a little jar or something of old crystals that I want to keep just for their, you know, positive energy, and in case I ever do find myself needing them again, but just crystals that I'm not currently using in my life. And this will probably be the first one to go in there because it's a really great stone. I remember, I think I bought it on the same trip as when I bought my chakra stones and my quartz crystals, and I was really getting into crystals and the healing power and spirituality and stuff like that. And I felt immediately drawn to this one, and I think it's just a wonderful stone to have, but I don't actively use it. Next up, I have my little citrine, which I honestly have no idea where I got this. I've been thinking about it for like a week, trying to figure out where I bought this citrine, and I cannot remember. It is commonly regarded as the stone of prosperity and wealth, as well as manifestation. So if you are trying to achieve a level of success or manifest anything in your life, this would be a really great stone to have on hand. Next up, I have my teeny tiny little piece of onyx because I was on a budget when I got it. But I also got this at Crystal Waters, which is the small crystal metaphysical shop in Eureka Springs. And I utilize it for like banishment and protection. And for me personally, when I see a black stone, I know a lot of, you know, blackness is sort of connected to like dark arts, dark magic, you know, like black cats are bad luck, you know, stuff like that. Personally, I see black stones as being very powerful, very just strong stones. Most of my other crystals are very, you know, bright and colorful, but I think it's important, at least for me, to have a piece of onyx to sort of protect not just myself, but also my other crystals from any negative energy. Next up, I have my selenite, which I got also at Crystal Waters in Eureka Springs on, I think, the same trip as when I got my piece of black onyx. And selenite is regarded as like a moon stone, very strong connection to the moon, and that's really what I use it for. Again, I feel like the moon is sort of associated with negative things, like, you know, the full moon means that the werewolves come out, stuff like that. But I see the moon as a really comforting and loving thing in the universe. So I like to feel like I have a little piece of it in my room. Alright, now these next two crystals are my newest purchases. And I haven't cleansed or consecrated them yet or anything like that, so they're just really rough. So the first one that I have is this beautiful rainbow moonstone. It's in a little pendant form, which I have been wanting a crystal that was in a pendant form for quite a while now. And this one just really spoke to me, especially when I read the little paper that sort of talks about its properties. I purchased this at the Stone Maiden in Little Rock, which is, or rather North Little Rock, I guess, which is a great little store, wonderful lady that works there. Really highly recommend it if you live in Little Rock or the surrounding area. And so the paper, again, has lots of little characteristics of the stone. The one that really sort of stuck out to me is protects during travel, which I've been wanting a crystal to put in my car for a while now because driving is something that scared me for a really long time. And I mean, I drive every day now, it's kind of unavoidable. But I do still get a little bit nervous, and I get some like intrusive thoughts and stuff like that, and I feel like having a crystal hanging from my rearview mirror where I can see it every time when I'm driving will just really help me out. So I'm looking forward to cleansing it and putting it in my car. And the very last crystal that I have to show you is again from the Stone Maiden in Little Rock, and it's, oh my god, it's amazing. It's this beautiful piece of smoky quartz. It was really expensive for what it is, but It's so worth it. I just love looking at it. I love how the color is different. You know, we've sort of got lighter here and then it's darker in the tip. It's very interesting to look at. Also, it spoke to me as in it's something that I feel like I need in my life right now. The little paper, again, lots of information. The one that stuck out to me is right at the bottom, the very last line, which is that it improves intuition and psychism. And I have really been in a weird place in my life right now. I'm normally an extremely intuitive person. I really just trust my gut. I don't really think about my decisions. I just sort of do what feels right. But recently I've had a lot going on in my life, and I feel like I've had a lot of self-doubt and a lot of uncertainty, so I am hoping that this smoky quartz will help me figure things out a little bit more and not be so scared of doing what I feel is right. And there you have it. Those are all of the crystals that I currently have in my collection. But I really hope that you enjoyed this video. If you have a crystal collection, or even not just a collection, but maybe one crystal that you really, really love, let me know what it is down below. I'd be really interested in hearing about it. And I'm gonna go edit this video, which is currently at 19 minutes, so we're gonna hope I can get it down to some manageable length of time, but I guess we'll see. Yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.